Hi and welcome to Sacred Enzyme. I'm Stacy, and I wanted to take a minute to tell you a story that I thought was really interesting because the universe is so fantastic, especially when you really start getting into it and tapping into it and cleaning up yourself and tuning in the metals in your body with the right foods to the environment. And when you do that and you meditate and you set intentions to your higher self and you go with that, it's amazing how when you are going with the universe, how the universe puts things in your path. And it puts things in your path to either, to confirm, hey, you're on the right path, or hey, I'm putting this little step here so you can see it because you're on the path, but you need to tweak. So yes, yesterday I got a text message from a lady that I ran into when I was taking my dog to the vet. And I've been using the same vet over here in my area for a long time. And I have, and you probably hear him a lot. He snores in a lot of the videos, so you hear snoring in the background. But he had a little bump on his neck and I had it removed. And so I had to take him back to get his stitches out. And when I came in, there literally was a dog that looked just like my dog in the foyer in the waiting room. And I laughed to myself and I said, I really felt like that was like my dog's sibling. It was same kind of energy, same look, same markings, everything. And it was funny because I didn't say anything about it. And she went to the back with her dog, but the lady that works at the vet's office, who I really, I like her a lot, and she's really great. She came out to me and she said, hey, did you get your dog at such and such place? And I said, yeah, I did. And she said, yeah, do you have his papers? Because I think that this lady that's back here, her dog is his brother. And I said, wow, that's amazing. I said, I was just thinking the same thing. And the girl that was working at the counter was thinking the same thing. So anyway, it was kind of like we were all in this hive mind about the dogs. So she and I exchanged numbers, and I was going to come home and pull his paperwork from when I had bought him to see what his lineage was. I came home and I tore my office apart and I could not find it. And on top of that, I misplaced her phone number. So she texted me yesterday, and this has probably been, I ran into her like a week ago, maybe. So she and I started talking, and come to find out, after talking to her, because we had such a great conversation, it just started flowing and flowing and flowing, and we were talking about the dogs and everything else and their behaviors and their funny little things they do, their little, their little habits and their demeanor. And we got onto the subject about health, and it just progressed on to, well, come to find out, she's lost all of the people in her family at a very early age. And her daughter, who is in her early 20s, is already starting to suffer from a decline in her health. And her doctor instructed her to take folic acid, which blows me away. It blows me away because if you have the MTHFR genetic variation, you don't take folic acid, you take folate. Folic acid is contradictory to what you need to take. So I explained to her what I had found out about my own family, and she started taking the clues that I was giving her and applying them to herself and her lineage. And there are a lot of people that have MTHFR, and I'm still shocked at the number of people that walk around and have this problem and don't even realize it. They just think that they feel terrible, or they think that they got bad genes. You do have some genes, but it's the stuff that's coming along with the DNA, the RNA, that is pulling the ingredients to form the recipe. So if you have a bunch of ingredients there, and then you have the person that's pulling the recipe, you know, you don't want them selecting your recipe. You want the ingredients to be the only ingredients going in your recipe. So toxic chemicals, poor food quality, lack of exercise, lack of diet, trauma, all of these things throughout life are damaging our bodies. And then when we're not putting the right combination of food groups in our body, because each food has certain molecular metals in it. Our body is nothing but metals. Our body is metal. Everything that runs in our body is electricity. And so if we're not putting the certain kind of metals in our body to balance the other metals and to take other metals so that they can apply them to them and convert them into other things, you can't make something out of nothing. And so if your enzymes don't work, then your body is not functioning. And the first thing that has to be addressed is the gut microbe. People are being born with a damaged gut microbe. And that damaged gut microbe is just creating a whirlwind of problems. You have food allergies right out the gate at birth, food allergies. You know, if a lot of times women that have this enzyme deficiency, they have trouble breastfeeding. I was never able to get any of my milk to come down to breastfeed my kids, and it really upset me. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. I even had a lactation specialist practically hold me hostage in the hospital for 2 days, trying to get my kids to breastfeed. And my son ended up losing so much weight in the hospital because he lost a huge percentage of his body weight in 1 day because she would not let me give my baby formula because no milk was coming out of my breast. But my son also ended up having a lot of food allergies. He was allergic to anything that had sugar in it. Anytime that he ate carbohydrates like potatoes or pasta or bread, he would bounce off the walls. And he had a really sensitive stomach. Anytime that he would eat certain things, they would make him sick. And so I noticed right off the bat, and another thing that he would say when he was really little and he wasn't able to express himself was that he would tell me that his heart hurt. And I never understood what he was meaning by that. And I would mean, what do you mean your heart hurts? Is it hurting like pain, or is it hurting like food acid? You know, like you feel like something coming up your throat. He just said, Mommy, my heart hurts. And he would lay in a little ball. But my son has H. pylori in his stomach, and we found that out when he caught COVID in his I think it was his freshman year of high school when we had the pandemic outbreak. My son got COVID the first day of school, and he was sick for months. He ended up having to have an endoscopy, and when they did the endo, they found out that he has H. helicobacter bacteria in his gut. So the gut bacteria has to be treated. Otherwise, you will not achieve complete wellness. But the whole point of the story is that so many people are walking around and they think that they're doomed to a short life, or they think that, you know, that they have bad genes, or they think a number of things. And a lot of people in their family die early or get sick early or disabled early, or, you know, injuries early, or, you know, and they don't recover because the body is not healing itself the way it should. All the healing happens here. We just got to get all of this working right. If we get all this working right, everything's going to go as planned. But there's more than just getting all of this working right, because in order for us to get all of this working right, we have to address what's out here too. We have to address our environment. You know, we have to address the level of magnetic waves that are being hammered on us. That's one thing. The other thing is the toxins in our food and our diet. Fast food is not for you. You know, it's not meant to be a meal. It's called fast food. It's fast. It doesn't say it's nutritious food. It just says it's fast. So, you know, and it shouldn't really, I half the time I think that I'm wondering if food is even a good descriptive. It's just fast stuff it's fast stuff to eat, but it's not really, I don't know, it's not fit for consumption. So, you know, I know that people like to splurge, and we all like to, and you know what? There's nothing wrong with splurging. You know, go out with friends and have a drink or two. Don't do it every night of the week. Don't do it every weekend. You know, moderation is the key to perfection. Moderation. But we've got to clean up our diets, and we've got to start eating food that's wholesome and it hasn't been genetically modified. And so my mission is that I am going to start acquiring as many as I can find of the original heirloom varieties of beans, corns, squashes, and grains. And I am going to start a seed bank. I'm going to start a seed bank, and I'm going to dispense seeds to people who are interested in cleaning up their health and obtaining optimal life experience. And we can do that. And by doing these steps, and everybody doing these steps, that we can turn the ship around. We can turn the ship around. And the interesting thing is from learning about our magnetic field, and I've been reading a lot of the older scientists and mathematicians that have been studying the magnetic field. I have come to learn that our subconscious is just like a pool that we can just hook up and grab from any time. We just got to be able to be on the right frequency. Knowledge is there for everyone. No one's any smarter than anybody else. It's just that their ability to tap in to the data bank. So we have to look at these people that were scholars and esoteric people and philosophers and theologists and all of these things, and look at how they lived. Now, it's not, to me, it is not a coincidence that they called a lot of the old philosophers Stoics. Now, when I think of somebody that's stoic, I think of somebody that has complete control over their behavior. They control their urges. They control their desires and impulses. They have managed and they have achieved perfection of moderation by being stoic. And that's a clean diet, lots of clean water. Clean water. We're so full of water. Clean water. Water conducts electricity. Hello, we're all electric. We're electric. So, you know, come on. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. We can do it. And I know that the universe is telling me we can. That collective bubble up there is coming to me in my brain and telling me, this is what we got to do. This is what we can do. And this is how we do it. We can do it. Read, you know, I have got a resounding loud McKenna when I was meditating about 3 weeks ago. And so I just started looking up McKenna, and I came across some books by a man named Terence McKenna. And Terence McKenna was a huge proponent of ayahuasca and psilocybin, or hallucinogenics and cannabis to reach in to the etherical realm. And he took a lot of trips on these types of hallucinogenic medications, or whatever you want to call them, these hallucinogens that are from nature. And he said that he really feels like the way to solve the universe, it's through fractals, which I thought was astounding. So then I went further with learning about fractals, and I got onto biogeometry. So now I'm reading some books on biogeometry, and I have to read them all online. They're so hard to find, these wonderful books. And if you do find them on thrift books, they cost a fortune. So I'm using the good old library because I like to read my stuff with my eyes instead of listening to somebody else tell me what I should think. So I really want to revisit all of the original works and read them myself. So when I sit here and I talk to you out here in the universe about what I've learned, that it's real learning. It's not, just passing along what somebody else has said or what someone else thinks. So the magnetic field is real. We are made of electricity. We're made of water. Either the smallest portion increment of ourself is electric, and it's light. Light is energy. We are energy. We're made out of metals. Food is made out of, digestible, various combinations of metals, acids, enzymes, proteins, everything. Protein equals energy. So according to what kind of protein, how much protein, and everything else that you're putting in your body depends on what kind of functions you're going to get out of your body. So we have to keep going down this rabbit hole and finding out more. But we are. But in the meantime, let's not stop living. Let's keep going. Let's keep growing. Let's keep learning. Let's keep getting better. Let's keep healing. Let's keep learning more about ways that we can change. Now, the last thing I do want to add is the most interesting thing was, and I'm reading like 5 books right now, so I can't remember exactly which one made this statement, but the statement was pertaining to the fact that if you freeze, if you freeze water, that it contains light. And I thought that was really interesting. Very interesting. So the smallest fragment of water is light energy. Very cool. Very cool. And the other thing that I thought was neat is how we project our reality, and how our mind, how we perceive a holographic field, and from our eyes outward and then back. Okay, so as I talked about in my last video about the vagus nerve is what's responding to that holographic image. And that the collective up here contains all of the information. So if basically you're projecting from your mind or from the universe. So you're projecting from the universe, not from your mind. Your eyes, like I said, they're batteries. So you're projecting a holographic, you see a holographic projection in front of you, and it comes back through. The light comes back through, stimulates the vagus nerve, and then you react because the vagus nerve is a million minds in one, of a whole system of everything, of electricity, currents running all through your body. And so if we really imagine in our mind, or in our collective mind, because where is our thoughts really coming from? Is it coming from the universe, or is it just some kind of little machine inside our brain, right? We're downloading from the universe. So if we can imagine, and everybody can imagine something, we can actually morph that into existence by collectively bringing it into fruition. And it can be done. Because right now, the collective mind has put our earth and our planet in the frequency that it is. So sit on that for a second. what we are doing right now and our mindset right now has put our universe, our planet, into the frequency that it's in. If we can change this frequency altogether, we can create a massive shift in the whole world. I mean, it's so easy and simple. I can't understand. I mean, I can understand why people that like to be in institutions of authority, I guess that's probably the simplest, nicest way to put it, wouldn't want the average Joe knowing that if everybody just thinks on something and we all think of it in a positive way, and we're all manifesting a positive reality, it's going to happen. And that you're your own destiny. You make your own destiny. You manifest your own reality. So if you're sitting here being mad at something or someone, you're just bringing all that back to you. You have to understand. You have to sit back and realize, what am I mad about? I'm mad about something that obviously is within myself that I'm frustrated about, right? You have to turn around and look at yourself and say, okay, why am I doing this? What is it about me that's projecting this? Because every action that you do that is not in balance is a projection of your own self that you got to work out. Now that's a mind blower, isn't it? That's really crazy, but it's a reality. It's a reality. It's a reality that you cannot see that is there. And people, if they can't see it, they don't want to believe it. But if you believe it and you do it, you will see it because it will manifest. I'm telling you. So we can all do this. We can all do this. We can keep taking steps forward every day. And with that note, I'm gonna end this video on that. But I just want to tell you that listen to the universe. Go with the universe. Clean up your energy centers. Eat a balanced diet. Get outside. Ground to the earth. Being with the planet. And having mindful and being aware and having mindful thoughts that are positive. That are positively reinforcing the collective. And I'm so proud of all of the young kids that I'm seeing now that are realizing just how powerful they are. You know, kids have not been known, they've not known from a very early age in a long time that they could be anything that they wanted to be. When I was a little kid in the 70s, our teachers would say, you can be anything you want. All you have to do is imagine it. And then you can do it. And it's so true. You can. And we can. Because we're all a village. And it takes a village to raise a child, and we're all God's children. We are, every one of us is a fragment of God. He just went into a million things, a trillion, billion, 28,000 power of things. And he's in everything. And so we're all connected. Even people that you don't like, they're you. They're God. You're God. Think about it. God is living in every single one of us through our experience. Through our experience, God is living through us. We have to realize that everything we do affects everyone else because we are all one. All one. It doesn't matter if you have red hair, white hair, black hair, if you have dark skin or light skin. It does not matter one single bit. This is nothing but an experience in a vessel of your choosing that you decided to come down into this life and have an experience with your God light. So when you really take it apart and you look at it at such a basic level, and it says it back and forth in every single book about religion and God is that we are God and God is us. And I would be embarrassed if God could just manifest in a physical being and come down here and tell us what he really thought, or what it really thought of what we were doing to Mother Earth. I mean, it troubles me every day. It troubles me every day when I see people that are sick and people that are tangled up in addictions and people that are abused and people that are lonely and sad and hurt. It makes me sad to see that, you know, and when their family members don't help them, you know, and don't try to take care of them. You have to support each other. You have to support each other. And, you know, you have to support your parents, and you have to take care of your children, and you have to take care of yourself. So with that note, I challenge you to go outside. If it's not raining at your place, go outside and put your feet in the grass. Set your intentions for this morning and say, it's going to be a wonderful day, and give thanks. Give thanks to the universe and to Mother Earth and to all of the wonderful other creatures that are holding God's light. Just be grateful and thankful for everybody's role in this world. And when you tune in, I'll be here, because we're living in the past and the present and the future all at once. So with that note, I want to tell you thank you for spending 26 minutes with me, and have a great day. And thank you for watching Sacred Ensign.